So here's an example of a problem similar to what you will see on your assignments or test and test. Given a data set, so I'll give you this data set, and for part A, you're asked to generate the relative frequency distribution using categories of width 1 starting at 98. So what I want you to do is create a table, 3 columns, and the first column will be category, the second column will be frequency, and the third column will be relative frequency. So you're asked the categories of width 1 starting at 98. So we're going to start at 98, and this is the lower limit, so 98, 99, 100, all the way to what your data needs to include. So we have 101, so we have 101, and then 102, and then 103. So again, these are your lower limits. So now we have to do the upper limits. And we don't want any overlap. So we don't want it to do 98 to 99. We want the closest value that's right above 99. So that would be 98 to 98.9, 99.9, and 10.9. And this is for this specific data set. So 102.9 and 103.9. Okay, so now that we have the categories, we can, for the frequency, all we have to do is count, and these are in order. So we have to count how many are in 98 to 98.9 range. So we have 1, 2, 3, looks like just 3. Then for the 99 to 99.9 range, we have 1, 2, 3. So we put 3 here. And then for the 100 to 100.9, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then for the next category, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then the next 1, 2, 3. And last, we have 1 and 2. So we sum these all up. So 3 plus 3 is 6, plus 5 is 11, plus 8 is 19, plus 3 is 22, plus 2 is 24. So we have 24. So to get our relative frequency, we're just going to do 3 divided by 24. So let's just write all these out, and I'll show you in the calculator. You can leave it as this, I don't mind, unless I ask specifically what are the relative frequencies. But for this table generating, it's fine. I'm sorry, these are 24s. And 6. Okay, so we can do this simple math, but let me get my calculator out. Okay, so 3 divided by 24, 0.125. And this is a 3. So 0.125 and 0.125. And 5 divided by 24. 208. And then 8 divided by 24. 338. And then lastly, 2 divided by 24. We have 0.083. Okay, so now that we have all this, this is all I wanted for if it's asked to generate relative frequency distribution, and it gives you the width and the starting value. So this is all I want you to do for that. But I need you to create, I want to see this whole table. So now we'll use StatCrunch. So let's go over, first thing I want to show you is where StatCrunch is. But review my Stat Lab video tutorial, and I do show you where StatCrunch is. So we're at StatCrunch. When we click StatCrunch, and it'll load. And we want to go to StatCrunch website. And then this is what we're going to do. Type or paste data into a blank data table. So here we are. So it's pretty easy to paste your values. You can just type. And now on your assignments, I'll provide you this. So what I would do, so you don't mistype or anything, I would type it into a Word document again, like copy my values that I give you, and just copy and paste it. And then just, if you do that, this is how I started. So I copy that. And you have PDFs, so I believe it will let you do that. So then I just paste it in here, and I'll go, and that's simple. So I just do that and line it up, and at the end you should have a data like this. So then I'll copy this, and all you have to do is Control C, or on Apple's Macs, you just do Command C, and you Control V. So that's our data. Just double check. Yep, that's our first one. So now back to StatCrunch. You can label this variable. You don't have to, but it looks pretty on your graph. So I'm going to label it temperature. And then to create the histogram, that's part B, we go over to graph, and then histogram. So we select temperature, that's our variable, and type, we can just do relative frequency for this one. Sometimes I'll say do a frequency histogram, but if I don't say anything, you can do relative frequency. So start value was 98, and then the width was 1. And you can do an overlay of another distribution if you want, but you don't have to. And here's everything to fancy it up, but again, I don't want to, so here's compute. So here's our plot, our histogram. And to get this over to your Word document that you want to hand in, because you want to paste this so you can turn this in. So you just do Options, Copy, and it provides you, as you can see below, it gives you directions on how to copy and paste it. First it says Control click the image below to copy it. So I'm going to copy image, and then Control click the image and select copy. It says it right down here too. To paste into Word or PowerPoint. So we Control V. So it pasted. Go smaller. So there's our histogram, and that's what I would like to see for when you turn in your assignments. So then again, using StatCrunch, calculate the mean and median mode if there is any, standard deviation and range. So going back to StatCrunch, all you have to do is now push stat instead of graph, summary statistics, and we do a column because temperature is a column. So we select temperature, and then to pick our summary statistics, we have to, it tells you down here, it's a little tricky, but they give you, you can pick as many as you want. but sometimes I really just want specific ones. So if you hit shift and then drag down, it'll highlight all of them. It'll highlight all of them and put them over here. Or you can just pick, if you have control and then click. So I'll just pick, I like the sample size usually. So mean, standard deviation, median, range. You can get the quartiles if you get the median. And then what else did I ask you for the mode? So that gives you, and don't confuse standard error with standard deviation. The standard error is just the standard deviation divided by the square root of the sample size, but we don't want that. We want the standard deviation. So I think we got everything. Okay, so then they'll be over here what you picked. So sorry, I can't see that. So then you just put compute, and again it provides you with the summary statistics. So you just have to, in this case, highlight it, Control C, and go back to your document, and Control V. Sorry, it's a little too big for my document. So if I do my page layout a little bit, sometimes you just have to mess with your page layout to make sure it's organized and you can see all the numbers. So my orientation may be landscape. Sorry, that does everything. So it turns out there was actually no mode in this case. And just mess with your tables a little bit. Just provide me with a clean table if you could. Thank you.